Sean, starting off with 7th light in a work rider's place, seems to be getting closer all the while.
It's a filly that is not a bad filly actually. She's taken a bit long to actually get going. I'm hoping this course and distance will help her along.
Shanghai Tang in the second gets the kind of trip that you're expecting him to be effective over, and third run after the rest.
I think everything's right. He does have a good chance. Only concern is probably the inside track. Would be better suited to the stand side or the vole, but I think he's got a good chance in a race like this.
Perhaps a little disappointing last time out, but you have expressed that he has a measure of ability.
Look, he does, Andy. The problem is he can't really breathe properly, and he had a wind up, but it doesn't seem to have worked. So he makes quite a noise, obviously runs in a tongue tie. He's certainly bred for this trip, probably exactly this trip. Chase said last time he's getting a little bit coltish, but you know, what do? You didn't really want to have to geld him yet, but you know, give him one last try. So you know, he's got ability, just needs to put it together and hope that he gets enough oxygen throughout.
Would it be fair to say that his stable companion VETRI may be ahead of him?
Look, I must say, I've always thought quite a lot of him. If you watch him go to the post, he looks like he goes down like a winner every time. He hasn't been uncomplicated. He had he was a rig, and he had a lot of things sort of go against him early on. But he's shown us some very, very good work, and I do think he's going to put it together one of these days. And probably over a mile. He's a sale from Seattle, out of a bit of a stamina pedigree. It should suit him well, and I think he's going to improve a lot.
There was a lot to like about the way Emily HOBHOUSE won her last start. Pedigree-wise, this trip should be right up her alley, but she's up against some stronger older girls.
Yeah, you know, I must say, you know, I always thought she was going to be a nice stayer. I mean, she's by Ideal World. She's actually got a very nice pedigree, and she's very honest. Inside track, definitely her track. I mean, she's lengths better there. And I thought her last one was pretty emphatic, really. Much, you know, higher MR here, and with, you know, many pounds out at the weights, but you can't find races for her. And, you know, we just elected to take our chances here off bottom weight again and see how she goes. But I think she's, you know, she's shown everybody that she's good enough. If she can just maybe step up in this class, and run the same sort of race, I think she'll certainly go in the places again, could win it.
It's both Aurelia Cotter, who's in great form, and Out of Sight as well.
Out of Sight needs to have another assessment plate just to finalise her rating, and Aurelia Cotter, I've been keeping her to the shorter trips, but you know, it hasn't rewarded us as yet, so we're hoping to, by stepping her up, she could finally crack another win. She has the form to win over this type of trip. As a 3-year-old, she did run against some decent horses over the classic trips.
There was a measure of confidence in your voice last time about the chances of Miss Sabina. She was not to disappoint you, and she looks like she's progressive.
Yeah, I think the 1400 is probably her minimum trip. We've kind of got away with that one rather than, you know, it wasn't an emphatic win, but I do believe the second filly was strongly fancied too, so you know, it's satisfying anyway, to say the least. I think on her pedigree, half sister to Master Sabina, I think she'll definitely get this trip. I mean, I don't think that's in question. It's just that the assessment plates, I don't really know where we are with them, and I wouldn't say we're well handicapped here. We're not. Is she better than rated? I think she could be, but we'll see. And while I don't think she's a certainty, I think she's a live runner.
Blame Game, not a bad debut. Good third last time out, getting closer, third start now.
Another horse that's taken his time. I'm hoping that he could have a chance in a race like this. However, I can't rely on him.
Humour me, we were at the stables when he was getting treated. It seemed to work very well in his penultimate start, but I have to say he probably looked a little disappointing. Maybe there were reasons for that last time out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what went wrong there. You know, I saw the jockey's report that, you know, he felt he wasn't striding out, and the vet examined nil. He is a horse that's had back problems. We know that. We do deal with it. And, you know, he also was treated going into his last start, so it's not like we forgot or anything. Work remains solid. I think he's in good shape. Being an ideal world, I'm hoping the 2,000 metres will be much more to his liking. And I'm going to leave it to Gavin. You know, it's not the greatest draw. Gav must just ride him as he finds him, and he seemed keen enough to ride him, so, you know, hopefully that bears testament. Like you say, penultimate start, very good, just over a length into third, and I fancied him last time quite strongly, and I couldn't really quite tell what went wrong. He's certainly sound as a bell, just obviously sensitive in his back, but one would like to think they'll run through that.
Then YAMOTO. This is a horse that you're quite bullish about the fact that this horse gets the trip now that he will probably be most effective over.
Yes, he is definitely looking for this type of trip. I don't know if I found the right race here with him carrying 62.5, but be that as it may, I think we're definitely going to see further improvement. He hasn't been improving all the while. I think what he needs is actually to get into the rhythm of racing, which has been stop-start for some time, but he is well. This race comes along, he takes his chances. I'm sure he won't disgrace himself.
We must have had a big meeting with your sister to allow Arlington's Revenge to go out there and make a stiff pace for your big guns, but now back into a more reasonable class.
Yeah, obviously you can put a line through the Guineas run, and he probably isn't up to that standard anyway. Trying the 2000, he's by the Apache who went 2000, and his mother's got quite a fast female line, so we're a little bit unsure if he will stay, but if he does stay, I think he must have a good chance.
And then you've got a very, very high-class filly in Green Plains. She needs no introduction, and Desert Rhythms form is also extremely respectable.
Yes, it's quite a competitive little field, but Green Plains, she's got the class to win a race like this. She's got a good draw, and yeah, she's definitely got a decent chance. Desert Rhythm, I think this course and distance will suit her, and she'll be finishing strongly.
The high-class daughter of SCHIPPERS, she's continued to improve and shown you any amount of ability, and whether Geoff is at the course or whether he's not at the course, she continues to win.
She does, Andy, and it's been, well, since her last start was Summer Cup Day, so it's quite some time. Couldn't really find races for her because she's MR 99 now, and trying to keep her away from the boys because it's, you know, she's a nice filly, and we do have a program in mind. Obviously, we're looking at Maritzburg for the SA Filly Sprint. I think she's high class. Having said that, she hadn't raced for a long time, and she came out of a virus about 2 weeks ago only. Back leg stacked up a bit. It's been going around. It's been doing the rounds in all the yards, I gather. So she's not at her best. She's got an improving blood count, but it's not where I want it to be. So definitely not invincible on Saturday, and possibly take the dangers with her.
Only to win. She's had a bit of racing. She's fit. She's in good form.
Yeah, very honest horse. Just kept her fresh and ticking over since the last run. Looks like a field that she can definitely earn money, and you know, with a bit of luck, she can be in the first two again.
The big fella's back in action after a very good run behind horses that have subsequently come out and run first, second, and third. You must be hoping for a big showing.
Yeah, obviously he's a consistent sort, and you know, he brings good form into the race. We are trying something different with him for a change. We've brought him back in distance. You know, his maiden win over 1400 was probably one of his more impressive wins, and we have always thought that the horse wanted to go over further. But you know, he has disappointed us on one or two occasions. Although he was just getting beat in those races, it wasn't that he was being beat convincingly. But we've had in the back of our heads for quite some time that we would like to bring him back in trip and try something different with him. And we're going to be trying something different on Saturday. I'm hoping that it works out for us and for the punter's sakes.
He's had some good riders on him, but I have to say that Marco van Rensburg's riding particularly well at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He's a good jockey, you know, and with limited opportunities, he has done well. So I hope that this may be a start of good things to come with him in the stable.
And then finally, to put the lid on the day, VIVA PIPA. Two somewhat disappointing performances in her last two starts. Any specific reason for that, and are you expecting improvement?
Andrew, she was just seemed to be in such a zone when she actually won that Ready to Run race. She was just popping out of her skin. To beat a horse like Charms, who's obviously gone on over a different distance. But yeah, we are expecting improvement. She somehow doesn't seem to get the mile or more, which she shows us that's what she wants. We're just looking at the black and white. We're coming back to 1500 and hoping for a good showing.